one of the final games of the regular season. NetCodeGuides.com facing against Reliable Gaming. And I think that correction that I have to make, Levi's probably Finesse. I'm willing to bet. Just
that
willing
would
to bet.
seem about correct there.
Here we go.
I would imagine.
We're underway. Let's take a look at the split here for the terrorists. They'll be moving all together to alternate mid. Nobody can control the T-steps at all. And knowing what you know about netcodesguys.com, they want to probably pressure the banana. It's dangerous not to have vision there. So this has got to be a fast play. Elsewise, they're probably going to be flanked. And Arya will be present at mid to make sure that just doesn't happen. Lucky's so close to the door, needed that shot on CEVO. Otherwise, he's probably going to get swarmed or just taken down one-on-one. 2 entries looking good, and the third for the first rotator. And the first death issued to the terrorist happens to be Finesse, who steps back to the porch, finds a nice-looking headshot, very tidy-looking headshot for Jay Mitchell. 3 versus 2, and those 2 are so much healthier than the T components. Doesn't matter. Roka and CEVO are the stars of this round, combining with a 3-2 for the both of them. 1 round for Reliable Gaming on the board.
And we just actually got confirmation that's Jay Mitchell in there. So Levi is going to be Jay Mitchell.
No. Jay Mitchell is super best play. He's on the other team, and Levi is on netcodeguys.com. That's Finesse.
Oh, switching. Yeah, wrong team. Was looking at chat incorrectly there.
Happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us. It's the second round, and the all-important pistol round is already won and in the books for Reliable Gaming. And if they play this smartly, you think they take it a little bit slow, stay together, don't surrender weapons so you can support each other. They'll do just that, moving together in Banana. That first is not an entry. It was an aggressive push by Cutler that kind of went haywire. Finesse drops back, maybe throws a flashbang to support himself. And he's in a sort of a 3-way stack here with a bunch of CTs from CT Spawn. Hayes has 2 with the single 5.7 magazine, drills JDM in the back and brings him down to about 59. He'll go through the construction, JDM will, and allow his partner to keep spamming this smoke. Bomb planted, 2 Ts alive, and Lucky's behind. He'll steal an AK, and it's 1 versus 3. It looks like an eco round win waiting to happen unless Arya can do the nigh impossible with a double. Looks for the triple. This last opponent has an AK who picks up the kill, and this eco win will be complete.
It was a really nice eco coming off that pistol round there. One thing I didn't get to touch on after the confusion of the name there was that A take. I know you saw that, but it was just a complete, even though it was a pistol round, there was just a full storm directly into A. No smokes. I think I saw 1 flashbang as they came into the site, which is a really nice pistol take there, especially only losing 1 player after they completely took the site and planted the bomb.
Pretty impressive stuff. I think what stood out to me that round was just Roka and CEVO running over people. The point-blank Glock shots were just too good at that distance.
Yeah, and now they just got ecoed right there, so they're going to be on the light by CZs, a P250, and a Deagle. Not going to bode well against Cutler right there.
Not when he has a triple and a quad to finish it up. You're certainly right here. That's one of those things that we talk about. The throwaway eco rounds, the 5-man pain train through the X location. On Inferno, it tends to be the banana. I'm not a big fan of those, and I know you're not. Why is that a dangerous thing to be practicing?
I don't agree with it at all because, man, there's so many things you can do on a save round or a light buy round. For your economy, you just, instead of just trying to run up and get that over with because we don't feel that we have the shot with our pistols, you can at least try and run a strat, get a pick, steal a gun at the minimum, if not get that bomb down without just trying to full bore, just pain train up into a site.
You're absolutely right. And then if you did this film study against your opponents, netcodeguys.com or Reliable Gaming, both teams who are apt to push banana and play very aggressively, going in there is a risky decision. Maybe it's a risk-reward thing. Maybe killing that person would yield the gun. We'll have to ask them at some point to get that information. 5 guns on the field for both teams, and all players are sporting rifles. CEVO looks down the hallway thinking that somebody will peek him. We've seen that pop flash before, thrown by Haste for Lucky, who actually didn't have his opponent blind, but CEVO just couldn't control his gallow, so he gets a kill, and he wasn't affected at all by that nice, tidy little play. Lucky waits in the pit, finds Slip jumping down onto the blue car, can't control the recoil of the M4A1, so he gets traded after a means or a few, maybe a minute later, 30 seconds later, I can't count. 3 Ts alive, they'll try to overwhelm bomb site B. Now know that there are 2 people here, so they still have a numerical advantage unless the rotators come. Roka looks to the new box or the back left, and Finesse will support. Spraying through, could pick up a triple if he can just wrangle down that P250. All of them were Finesse, and all of them were done with Finesse.
with 3K on the round right there, and that's what I was talking about earlier. Netcode guides with between Finesse and Cutler over there on Banana, they're just going to try and lock that down. So really the game has to be reliable, trying to make it up there and take that, or they just have to abandon Banana altogether and just commit to a good A take. And we have yet to see a solid A take here from them. They need to be on a full buy round with smokes and flashes to be able to see what they can do on an A take.
NetcodeGuys.com is very, very comfortable with stepping up close to the arch side or stepping up close at the port side and peeking, having somebody flash out for them while they scout out here. If they abuse this, and now this eco round is looking like, oh, never mind, it suddenly turned into a 2-on-2 with the possibility of guns being wrested away. Yes, I think they've recovered too. Yes, Roka has his M4A4, and Jay Mitchell has an M4A1. 2 retakes from the same side, both Moto, and the engagement starts with Finesse, who lands a nice kill, sees his teammate traded out from the port side, 1-on-1, and it's a very low health engagement. A single bullet will do it for either of them. Finesse comes out on top again. It's gonna be 4-1. Here's the point that I was trying to make. Both teams, I'm not going to say that they're mirrors of each other. I think NetcodeGuys.com uses a bit more set piece and a lot less default pick and roll. But they're both comfortable with flashing out and then peeking mid. If you eco and if you need to rush somewhere, gamble there. You're going to have somebody close. You can pick up a gun and even run away if you want to.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big fan. If you're going to do that YOLO eco up mid, I'm just going to rush somewhere. Ignore Banana. It's so easy to get.
Do we have a lag
off.
spike?
Is that a pause?
Yeah, it could be.
It's a pause.
Okay. All right. So continue your thought, though.
But it's so easy to shut down the top of that Banana, just counter flashing right there, especially against somebody like Cutler and Finesse over there at the top. And it looks like pause is over. But it's so easy to lock that top and Banana down. I'm a real big fan of smoking off right side mid and wrapping jungle, especially if you're just going to 5-man rush and pain train somewhere. At least you'll get that one gun locking off the right side guy, because they're never going to put 2 people on arch side. That will never, ever happen. You'll only run into 1 person depending on which side you go to. Either if you're going to try and go to tennis side, you'll run into 2 just because you have your right side boiler player, and then you'll have your 1 apartment/pit player, and then that left side is your ticket zone right there. That 1 guy at arch every round. That's 1 gun for your team.
The flow of the terrorist movement runs back from mid over to the T-app side, and they will all walk in together, ready to trade out whether or not they succeed here. I think it'll be a 2-prong attack, possibly from the boiler side and the end of the apartments, maybe a full-on dive into the pit. They'll wait for a specific time, flash out, choose to engage now. And Jay Mitchell is slowed slightly by a frag nade. Arya slowed by a flashbang, and I think the entire Netcode Guides team somewhat knows about what's going on here, but they can't do anything because of a nice smoke placement. Hayes inside the site tries to get 2, only trades himself. And the smoke right there was very, very nice. You don't typically see the smoke wall from the apartments in the North American scene. You'll never actually see more than 2 players come out of there and run out without too much other than flashbang. So that smoke wall is new for reliable gaming. We haven't seen that one before. At least I haven't seen that one before. 3 alive for the T's. They've taken the site and they've forced FNS and Cutler to back off and save their weapons for next round. Good?
You still there?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this one. I thought about it ever since I saw the execute. Those smoke walls and the drop into the pit is not something you'd see reliable do. Not even 4 weeks ago. I think they would have just kind of ran around and tried to jump out and not get shot on the way down.
I would definitely agree there. That's more of a complexity play. I feel like that's something they do a little bit better. But I do like the A take that worked out well there. They were able to storm their way up, get the smokes off correctly, lock down that pit, and work up through the tennis side, which is what they need to do. I feel like B is just going to be a complete lockdown against Netcode Guides. So working that A, if they can get that working here and pick up at least 5, that's going to be a good safety net for them.
So clearly this is where the problem was before. There was some sort of sound problem where Slip just alerted the other team that he couldn't hear anything. This is where what we experienced before in the delay, what the reason they paused for. I think it'll stop a little bit sooner this time. I hope it'll stop a little bit sooner this time.
It would be nice, but that pause was extremely short on the delay end of it. So, and no, I thought timer was going live. There it is. Yeah, we're going back live.
Yeah. So again, same thing that you saw before. This is the actual pause that happened while we were in the GoTV delay. 4-2 is your score. NetcodeGuides.com leads by 4 in the money. is slightly in the favor of the terrorists. Their net income will allow them to absorb maybe one more loss before going into a serious eco if they didn't want to force, or if they did regardless. The CTs, however, losing this one would ultimately cause a save, and they've used plenty of money to get on the field here. One op stepped out. JDM gets 1 and 2. Looks for a third. Might pick up 2 with that single op bullet, but Roka escapes near death. He's traded him out, but after heavy casualties. Lucky's waiting in the pit, thinking Roka comes around the side. And Lucky lets him escape, only for a moment, though. No panic, no panic. One left. It's Slip will follow him. He's at the brackets. Coming through the port side, looking for Lucky. Sees his elbow. Just barely sees his elbow. Or it might just be that halo, that corona around the X-ray, where we think he can see his elbow, but he really can't.
It's always tricky watching with the X-ray there. You always just get so amped up, being like, why isn't he shooting at that guy? Just because of a little bit of halo there. But that was a really risky start to that round. That 3-stack over there at B, and they pushed down pretty far down Banana right there. I'm assuming they thought Reliable was into that full save rush mode. That's why they stacked the 3 there. But luckily, JDM on Arch side was able to pick off 3 before he finally went down to just completely shut down the Reliable Gaming rush.
JDM at the point last round where we began talking about him was a 1 and 4, and last game, the last time we saw him, he was playing exceptionally poorly. I'm pretty pleased that he had a string of very nice shots right there to get off and make his momentum sort of pick up. And I feel that he's sort of a cadence-based player. Do you ever get that impression?
Definitely, that rhythm is what he needs. Without that rhythm, I think was it last game that we saw that the rhythm wasn't there and it just kind of fell apart for him.
It was a bit tough for him, and I do remember his KD, but I'm not gonna go on and make this slightly slanderous. There's the smoke for the entrance to B to slow down the pushers through B. Know that if you look at the minimap right now, the bomb is traveling up Banana, and that is where the intended take is. They're rotating back, and Arya, he's the flank, right? He is trying to time either a lurk or a designated fake, and whatever it was not supposed to end in him getting opt right as he peeked. So the secret is up, and since nobody is at B and Hayes is like, I don't think anyone's coming, they're going to early rotate. The first engagement by Finesse turns into a triple, might turn into a quad. A teammate behind him supports him, and this bomb site B's been on lockdown. Like we said, you're not going to see a ton of B action between either of these players. They typically just don't let people leave the Banana.
Yeah, I mean, as I talked about earlier, I'm beating the horse dead right now, but Cutler has that on lock. That is his bomb site now. And if they're not able to win this, I feel maybe they don't think they have a strong enough A take. They've already taken it once on a gun round, and it was relatively easy with those smokes that they threw. So if they can't get a good B, I would just say abandon that and avoid Cutler and FNS at all costs, and just work on your mid and apartment.
Now here's something a little bit different. No speed play this time. They'll walk into Banana. Hayes throws a nade down that doesn't really do much damage. All of Reliable Gaming is doing the same thing in terms of the same pathing on their eco round, but this time around they'll do it a little bit slower. They're happy to let the CTs waste their nades and then enter later. Look at this. NetCodeGuys.com is pressed up into the Banana. They can see these nades being thrown, and they're not affected because they sail past. FNS dumps an entire magazine into the smoke, picks up a triple, and Cutler picks up a double to finish it off and complement. That was excellent, excellent game sense, and all those nades were totally negated from the T's because they walked right in front of them.
Yep. A good play there, knowing that if they're going to go for that YOLO eco up there, if you get on that push a little bit, that one flashbang, the shutter flash, if that would have been angled a little bit farther out, I know they're afraid to lurk out of the side of that smoke just in case there was somebody at car, but if that would have been angled a little farther, that would have hit the sandbag and effectively rendered one player useless, but they didn't know anybody was at the sandbag to try and angle it that way.
Certainly no one could have known that. JDM's op crosshair waits for Sobo, and Sobo falls victim. They try to spam him to trade him, trying to hit the boards or the 2 doors outside of the balcony of the dark room, but he's made it out fairly scot-free, and actually his teammate Lucky takes more damage at the other location. That's the pit where he was supporting his teammate. He's down to about 38 HP. The take is for mid. The bomb travels there, waits by the Ivy Vines, and they'll smoke in. Also flash it. They'll combine with an apartment take, and JDM is choosing to challenge the smoke. In case somebody runs at him, he'll have to make a quickscope attempt, and that's going to be tough sledding. Slip saw his opponent, tells his teammates, I see somebody here, I'm going to press him away, throw that flashbang with no intention to actually flash anybody, but just to push him out and give them some breathing room. Smart play. We'll see if it actually rewards them. Cutler and Finesse are just like, we're going to chill because this banana's ours. If they rotate back, we'll kill them. It may not ever come to that point here. Roka hits great entries. He'll clean up the bomb site, wait for one more. That's JDM to come up from the arc side. He can't complete the burst on the second try, brings him down. And those two banana players are on the site. I'm surprised that they're going to challenge 4 players, even if Roka's weak. It seems like this is just asking to have your weapons taken away.
Yeah.
Or not.
Evening out a little bit. Oh,
or not.
Just like
up
that.
2. 1-on-2. Cutler might try it. 1 at Moto. Picked up. 1 in the site. And Arya knows where his opponent is. So does Cutler, who gets it and clutches. 2 versus 4. And the defuse. Makes it look good.
Man, I know he's only just now catching up to the stats from what FNS is doing right now. I mean, 18 kills already for Ness, and Cutler's just up to 9 now. Ness is just going absolutely ham over there on the B-bomb site.
We're on our 11th round. He's 18-4. What?
Yeah. Those B rushes. He's getting the 3Ks
right.
every round.
On those ecos and the anti-ecos, if you're looking at it from his perspective, he's been the beneficiary of a couple of those, but gosh darn, that is a lot of kills. And JDM has swapped spots, changing and thinking that he's being sneaky this time. If he changed spots, maybe he'll pick. But Roka hadn't been waiting for him. He brought him down without ever having him say a word about it. Jay Mitchell looks to come out from mid and will find Cutler trying to get to the Moto position. He was just a little bit too late, but he makes it away. And Jay Mitchell makes a critical error there. Lets an opponent get away. I don't think a 5 versus 2 is a likely win, but still, you think that you don't want to maximize those risks. You want to try to minimize them. So missed opportunity and made up there right from slip. Round ends. Bomb plant for a little bit of personal cash. You only have 3 rounds, and it's because you got anti-ecoed. I think Reliable Gaming has to feel a little bit cheated because they threw away a couple of easy ones early on. That could be something like 5 rounds for them.
Yeah, I mean a 3v2 hold that you can't hold on to that with the bomb already down. They're twice in a row now. That's been an A take with no smokes on pit or anywhere near the tennis side to try and lock anybody out of pit right there. They're just going in completely dry, just trying to out aim here. They're working, they're winning in, but on the retake they can't hold.
Well, you're right. It's been a couple of rounds where you've seen a couple of throw-ish type moves that you might have described, but also on a couple of rounds, Reliable has gone to some very admirable, really, and well thought out set pieces. And you saw that with the apartment drop. You saw that with one of their B takes, and also a coordinated A wrap. It's been a story of sort of 2 different types of Reliables. I mean, this one will be a 3-man charge ready to trade in. The bomb is the lead man, and he's blind. And if somebody had been there at the library waiting to bring down the bomb carrier, Jay Mitchell, that would have been a disaster. FNS tries to drop back, fall into the CT spawn, and step on top of the Ivy. Maybe killing somebody before he doesn't eat the turns it into a triple. What in God's name just happened? Last kill on the side of the map that we're not looking at is Hazed and Cutler to finish. How did he just juggle and Houdini his away from certain death? What is his score right now? He's 21-5.
That accident, I'm assuming that was an accidental draw off that, I don't even have a call out for whatever that is, the CT spawn, that Ivy thing in CT spawn. But it worked out perfectly because the call was up on top of that. So the next player rotates out from around the side and looks directly up. And he had already dropped to the ground and just pulled it straight down into that player and was able to pick that up. And, they're just out shooting right now. FNS is playing amazing.
FNS might be having one of the greatest games of his life. I don't think you could ever complain about this scoreline without the half even ending yet. So 5 alive for both teams. We're duly amazed by FNS's performance, and we should be. It's been enough to hammer out a good half. Let's see if they can chalk up a couple of more here. Without the money working for the Terrace, know that if they don't get a bomb plant here and they lose, they'll have perhaps, let's count, no losing bonus or 2 rounds worth because they've won one recently. So this is almost certainly an eco after this.
Yeah, if they don't pick this up, they will definitely be on eco here. $150 is the max that anybody has. Roka and CEVO both have it. If they don't pick this up, they're not going to get a big bonus, but it's going to be a full save no matter what on this round.
Reliable Gaming, who is normally ready to do set smokes and flashes into this bomb site, is so content just to wait here because they feel so threatened by Cutler and Finesse, who have been devastating defenders in bomb site B. They'd rather just wait for somebody to push and get them. The walk in smokeless, look at this, into the site. Roka and Slip are the entry fraggers. Without any entry here, there's no way to call for those early rotates. And that still doesn't matter to Finesse, who brings down a double for himself between him and his teammate. And Aria Roka clean up finally, making this a 3 versus 3 as they spray back out to CT spawn. The rotate is on. They're almost here, but they're also smoke walled off. Not anymore. New box. One banana, and one at the far flank. CEVO is so close. He just has to be patient. He may have given away his spot. It doesn't matter. Roka comes to support. Wanted to pick up a double. Lucky is in the construction, coming through the garden on top of the barbecue, and he'll go hunting now. No good. CEVO's too fast, and we'll have a 9-4 scoreline.
That was a good disciplined play right there from CEVO. At one point, he did see all of the rotating CTs for a split second. Didn't panic, didn't take a bunch of shots, just waited. You see him snapping back and forth across, I think that was JDM's head for a second, just hoping or trying to make sure no one was going to release backwards from the bomb site and back up a little bit and go back towards truck. So he had a clean shot to take JDM out without having another player quickly ready to trade him out. Played that very, very smart, but man, these takes with no smokes and flashes, they are really risky if you're not able to get those initial kills.
Let me ask you a little bit about Counter-Strike money management here. If you have a probably a 14th and 15th round scenario to consider. You can buy this round or not and save for the last. Would you have bought like netcodeguides.com has chosen to, or would you have played for the last?
I would have bought. The way they're playing right now, I definitely would have bought.
I think so as well. I think they don't have a lot to fear about losing these rounds. They've got better than a 50-50 shot at each and every one. And I think they've made the right decision, especially with this op on the field and JDM playing his normal spot right in front of the arch. He'll drop back thinking that somebody was there. I think these sound baits for Reliable Gaming and these little cues that they're getting is just some informational gathering. They'll know who's playing that corner. JDM shot clearly gave away the fact that he had an op and he was also playing the art side. Now they'll change their direction. The first smoke was on the right side. The second smoke will land on the left side to block the arch. They'll run through their own smoke at the arch side, and JDM steps out with an op. It's a clever, it's a cheeky play. It's also the wrong play right now with JDM so entrenched and so safe. His teammates can support him even if they want to try to kill him. So clever, very intricate play, but perhaps the wrong one. And Roka will instead choose to walk through banana. The bomb is traveling this way, and this far flank from Jay Mitchell is spoiled. The actual take with the bomb has been discovered at B. I think Cutler is ready with Finesse. Guess who? Still in the emo. Picks up a double. This man won't go down without at least trading 2-1. 10-4 is the scoreline, and the purchase was justified.
I do like the rotate back out, trying to make their way back to B. A little bit of slow, chunky play, I should call that, through Arch on that super slow rotate, trying to get some flankers pushing out. I didn't really agree with that. I think he should have dropped back with his teammates down mid, had a little bit more of a forceful entry, a better hold for themselves after they got the bomb planted, and some more money going into this last round because they need every round they can get, which is only 1. And 4 is really hurting. 5 will be helpful on their CT side.
Certainly. Jay Mitchell hits a nice controlled gallows shot and brings down JDM, the op wielder. Think about what happened last round. It was very well thought on Reliable's part. They threw a right side and a left side smoke. They heard an op shot, and then they thought, we'll smoke him out and let JDM fall back to maybe Moto or fall back to the site or wherever he wants to go. And they chased him through the smoke, and he still walked away from that. So there's a lot of virtue for how much thought went into Reliable's play. It also just, it has to be mentioned that JDM's handling of the entire situation was nearly textbook.
Yeah, definitely. Played it well. Threw a nice counter flash, dropped back out. Instead of trying to force the issue and with 3 people rushing you in your face, you're going to get 1 good op shot. If you're lucky, you can line them.
Cutler has been in the tree this entire round. A smoke for the cross and a flash over will at least eliminate Cutler from doing too much damage initially, but certainly if they run under him and don't look up, if he doesn't look, Jay Mitchell's right underneath Cutler. He's going to get this kill on Lucky, who's probably going to yell at his teammate for not bringing him down. There's the trade. Cutler looks straight down, brings down Jay Mitchell, and Finesse is in the sight. Appropriately, he's still alive and doing massive damage. That's probably his third on the round. Looking for a quad right here, and Slip will bring down him. 1-on-1, it's an op shot with 2 HP, and that doesn't make it that much safer because a nade will finish him off, or an errant M4A1 shot, or M4A4 shot, excuse me. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Caught, and my partner is misled. This is netcodeguides.com versus Reliable Gaming, and a one-off this evening that we're going to do. And I think you're right. 11-4 feels so much different than 10-5.
It's one round, but it's such a huge round to have against you. That 5 is such a nice safety net. Say Netcode wins this pistol round, they don't get ecoed on second or third round here. That's huge right there. Those 3 rounds out of the way that you're not going to be able to get back right off the go. And man, 5 is helpful. It gives you a two round buffer instead of that 1.
So a critical pistol round now arrives for the counter-terrorist team, who have to stop a furious rush. Sobo does admirably, gets 2, falls back to the construction, and is running away from his pursuers. Brings down Lucky with a nice headshot. His teammates are here to support, and he's now surrounded. Cutler brings down 2 with 2 headshots, 1 versus 2, and look at all of this carnage. Look who's alive at the very end. It happens to be Finesse and Cutler, again and again and again.
He's playing absolutely insane. If Reliable is not able to beat Finesse here, I mean, not to knock on people like Hazed or Lucky, but I mean, Finesse is holding it down.
Today. It's Team Finesse today. It looks like we're going to have a one-man control of Banana. Bomb will linger around mid, probably to support the Banana Man to make sure his gun's not stolen. And Levi, Finesse, the man of the hour, holds at the old red car. Now the, what is that, a recessed porch on the right side of mid? You know what I mean?
That's what it kind of looks like.
Yeah.
A little small walkway type thing that goes nowhere.
I still call it car because I don't know what to call it. He looks for somebody to push him, and Jay Mitchell walked away miraculously without being headshotted, and Sobo and Roka will two-man crossfire here. The 5-7 wounds Lucky badly. He drops back with 8 HP, saying, "Okay, I'm not the entry fragger anymore. Somebody else do this. We're gonna go the other way." All the T's are now moving, and that smoke is not gonna do anything. Nobody's going to be fooled by that, not in the least. They're going to have to rotate over toward A and try to get in without TKing each other. Cutler puts a shot right over his teammate's shoulder. Jay Mitchell is the one he kills, and Slip is the next. 2 rotators left, and they're both from bomb side B. It's Sobo and Roka, and they have a 5-7 and a P250 between the two of them. Doable, given Lucky's health, but also very difficult. Also
Roka picked
hard.
up an AK.
He did. And I'm holding my breath a little bit here because think about the circumstance. Roka's not one to save, but the context says at least try to play safe. Your entire team needs to do this. If you're gonna YOLO without a kit, what's the point?
Yeah, at that point, time was already too low, but he was already committed to try and wrap into the bomb site there. The save would have been the smart play to help your team out, but he tried to hero it a little too much. And it looks like Netcode is going to pick up that 14th round here. And once again, if Reliable could have came through with 5 rounds first half, that would have not put them so close.
I see the line of thought. He's within range of defuse if he starts it like right at that moment. If he gets the headshot over the top of the headshot box and he gets the guy on top of the apartments where he couldn't control his AK, yeah, he becomes a hero. But the probabilities just said don't really try that one. That's not a good idea. Look, a 3-man stack at the end of apartments, and I'm not sure it'll claim a victim this time because most of the T players on netcodeguides.com are coming up mid, walking backwards, either avoiding flashes or thinking they're about to be flying. Speed play, suddenly around the corner, they'll run up toward the library, choose between Moto and library. And Cutler waits for the boiler players. He saw both, and Jay Mitchell's going to be the unknowing victim. He didn't know that he was discovered. Rotator through, Roka is discovered. Lucky might have himself an easy kill, but he has to back off a little bit at this distance because Roka's wanting to pre-fire him, wins that battle. 2 left for the CTs, now just 1 left. Slip is the last. We followed him only for a moment, and he gets shot all over from the side, 14-4.
And Very interesting stack there in apartments. I don't think I've really ever seen that from a team unless they have a lot of like tape history on another team going like, all right, third round after they won, they already anti-ecoed on the second round, so now they're just going to go full tilt apartments. And I don't think I've ever really seen that from netcode guides. Doing a full tilt.
I see the logic there. I see you have close quarters where the CZ can win. You dump 12 bullets. You probably run back and everybody chases you, and you have 2 more people with a total of 24 CZ bullets. Yeah, it seems like you're going to win that battle. It just didn't happen the way they planned.
I mean, a 3-man stack to get 1 gun at that point, if you're not really trying to win the round, you're just trying to win a gun to maintain a little less of a buy next round. But it's an overstack right there in apartments.
Well, we'll never know whether or not it was an overstack because there was no result from it. I guess you could say the round win was the actual result. 4 alive at the A-take domain and 1 to protect the push for netcodeguys.com. He picks up the bomb and they will all congregate around mid toward the brackets, slowly moving toward the art side with a smoke protecting their porch, and JDM very, very carefully, methodically looking back at the smoke in case anybody pushes it. The CTs have smoked out the apartments, and Finesse will wait for that to dissipate. 45 seconds remain. And this will be a 5-on-3 affair. Here comes the action. Slip sees 1, trades out nothing, just picks up 3 immediate headshots, all looking gorgeous. Arya joins the fray, and Reliable Gaming finally, after being beleaguered for so long, puts together a beautiful looking round. Not a single point of damage taken.
That was a good round there. Good shooting at the initial part of the round with that Slip and Arya to close that out right there. Slip is really starting to pull it together now, starting to get some good shots off. And I mean, even across the board on the other side, Jay Mitchell is making a bigger impact for his team than I would say Hazed is right now, even though it's going to be hard to make a big impact with Finesse doing so well.
Well, he has dropped to 30, so he's sort of a force of nature at this point, and the game is not quite over. Not yet. These 4 rifles for netcodeguys.com are all AKs. They've got enough utility nades, but no frag nades except for Cutler. JDM, I think he's going to be ramping up for an op play, and I like that netcodeguys.com is planning in the long range. Even though they're close to winning against Reliable Gaming, they know it takes 2 rounds, and they know they have every right to respect or every reason to respect the game of Reliable Gaming, so JDM's planning for the future. I think it's a smart investment.
I like this slow play up mid here from Netcodes, just working nice and slow, trying to see who's going to get a little bit more aggressive. And Slip and Hazed about to get in the gunfight. I would have to try and give that to Slip right now. He's playing very well on the arch side, but I do like the slow play from Netcodes. Even though they got a little aggressive, made their way up mid here, I think this is a good play. Smoke's coming. Wrap CT to B, possibly?
Maybe. The exchange happens. Oh no, our camera has gone down. We'll be back in the game just momentarily, folks. And if you don't, is the OBS still up? All right, well, if you guys still hear the audio, I can at least help you guys figure out what's going on. Our Ts are pressing for a 3-2B split. The banana is where the bomb was, and they have 3 in banana. Also 2 wrapping through CT, all still alive. You're back in, and we're back watching the action. There's the entry. You really didn't miss anything. Good timing. So look at this. The entire T team has taken bomb site B, and Reliable Gaming, who has been folding under the collective weight of netcodeguys.com, continues to do so, and they can't really stop the offensive firepower of Finesse and company tonight. It's 2 alive for Reliable. Jay Mitchell and Arya will not make an attempt to retake. They'll play for the long range tie.
Yeah, it always sucks trying to play for the tie here, but I mean, at this point, you're going to be 2 versus 5 here. They almost all got full health. Hazed and Cutler are the only ones that are slightly low, and they're only down in the 70s. Bomb was planted B. Time limit was a little far. They got to save these guns. They're going to have to buy everything they can from here on out. And that's a huge battle to try and win every round from here on out.
It seems like a foregone conclusion that Reliable Gaming has lost this one, but we've seen crazier things happen, so let's not assume. They have enough money to buy this round, and they will. We'll see if they have the utility nades they need to stop the offensive. One thing that you'll notice for netcodeguys.com is that they're very quick to use the bracket wrap and make an on-the-fly decision whether or not to go through CT and turn it into a B-Rap or turn it into an A-Take. And they'll not do the set pieces from the banana. They'll not do set pieces diving from the apartments like we saw Reliable do. They have really, at least today, one play that they'll go to, and then they'll stem the rest of their offense off from it. And it seems to have worked.
Yeah, once again, Netcode going with that slow play up mid, not really trying to force the issue here, trying to catch and isolate one player at a time. They're getting outshot a little bit here by Slip, unless you are Finesse, who's out shooting everybody. But Slip on that arch side was just dominating players down, so they're playing really slow, playing good disciplined Counter-Strike.
Jay Mitchell with the patience of a saint, but not really the aim needed to beat the AK. JDM will trade him out with the AK headshot off a 4 burst. Everyone alive for Netcodes until Arya and Slip join the battle. Still, the trades are in favor of the T's, and NetcodeGuys.com is 2-on-2 versus their opponents, Reliable Gaming. And this is the end of the game should the CTs not win this one. Two-man retake. CEVO comes from the Moto side, and Roka comes from the port side. Cutler drops back to the graveyard. Our culminating round could be here. Our ultimate round could be here. Roka in, storms in, kills one, looks to turn this into a James Bond affair, turns his aim around to the graveyard player, gets him, and also picks up the defuse. At least saves defeat for one more round.
Yeah, the retake there that was put on, Roka just storming his way. Good flash off the arch side to blind the player in the middle of the bomb site. Roka just storms his way and gets the first shot. Immediately looks back over to the graveyard as he was pretty positive nobody was in pit as he was moving up on tennis side. So was able to make both those shots and close that down. Netcode not able to stop the retake.
Not at all, and his speed and aggression really caught the Netcode guys players off guard there. So good play. Probably not enough to change the entire tide of the game. Not at this distance out yet, but at least he did what was necessary. So the T's have split 3-2. They dropped the bomb in the middle for them to make some sort of alternative decision later on about where they want to go, and they'll just sort of use their feelers, sort of just look around and feel for where their kill is. I would like to see Netcodes try B. It's been a short half because of how successful they were, but I just want to see how they want to treat B. Is it a single smoke ISO pick, or is it a everybody jam your way in clown car style? Looks like a pick.
I usually going to see Netcode try and work that pick as they were doing at A, trying to isolate a single player and work off that pick, and it looks like they're going to try and go for it again.
Guess who got it? It's Finesse. Finesse picks up a double, and our camera is locked for some reason. Sorry about that. Here are the rotators through the speedway. They're already in, and I think Slip just went charging in without his teammate. Jay Mitchell arrives second on the scene. Hayes combines, brings down, and I noticed this. Finesse has 3 on the round already, I believe. Is that right? No, 2 on the round already, and he did significant damage to another to pick up an assist. 1 left, and this could be the end of the game. NetcodeGuys.com has 16 already. Reliable Gaming only put up 6 in the 4